David Henderson now, civil rights attorney, former prosecutor, CNBC contributor. David, the judge said releasing the videos could jeopardize the investigation. Right now we have two stories, one from the deputy's lawyer and one from the family who's seen a 20-second clip. I mean, transparency. As a former prosecutor, do you think that this could get in the way of the investigation?
Well, Shep, I think the bigger picture here is that I think as the saying goes, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. We just had a historic verdict. We've seen some historic activity coming out of the AG's office. It's natural for law enforcement to give some pushback, which is what we're seeing here. But what I find most helpful is the fact that the sheriff's office is in favor of the video being released, and no one would understand how it's going to impact the investigation better than the sheriff's office would.
Well, couldn't the sheriff's office say, weigh in on this for the judge?
I think they've weighed in as much as they can. And what's helpful to keep in context is this has become a hot potato and no one wants to be left holding it, including the judge, which is part of the reason that you saw the ruling that you did today.
You know, the judge deciding to disclose the videos at some point to the family, but not just release them. That adds a lot more rules and restrictions to the viewing of them.
It did, Shep, but it's also an act of common decency. If my years at the DA's office taught me anything, it taught me that being killed is not the same as dying. And I say that because how we lose our loved ones goes a long way towards how we're able to process those losses. And the family deserves the closure that's necessary to be able to bury Mr. Brown and move on, even though they understand that this case will continue. So letting the family see the video was the right move. I also think letting the family's lawyers see it with them is the right move. It's just going to be withheld for a broader investigation that DA claims it needs time to complete.
David, were you prosecuting this case? Is there an advantage in keeping the video out of the public eye?
The advantage of keeping the video out of the public eye is that you have more control over what gets said or not. I don't think it matters in terms of what's actually going to go on inside the courtroom. I think it matters in terms of your ability to maintain your relationship with law enforcement, especially if you're sympathetic to their point of view. And I think that's what's driving the DA's decision.
A lot of people will see this as just another delay after decades and decades of delays in other cases.
And Shep, I think that's a fair point. I think that's exactly what this is. And I don't see any harm in letting the public see the video and making sure that there's transparency so that you can start earning back the public's trust in policing.
David, thank you. Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.